Trustee.
Gotcha.
Probably without squilling.
I can't believe we would say that to a preacher.
Mike.
You're very soft-spoken.
I will say they said they could hear my laugh.
Coach.
Boom. Good point. I don't.
This would be pretty fun.
Good evening. It's 7 o'clock. I would like to call this meeting to order. So if you would stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence, I would appreciate it.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Well, good evening. My name is Jackie Deckard. I'm the president of the school board. To my left is Matt Hankins, the vice president of the school board. To his left is Heather Stagg, secretary. Next to her is Dan Conway, school board member. And next to him is Luke Jackson, school board member. To my right, Superintendent Mr. Eric Boland. And to his right is Mrs. Susie Lips, the assistant to the superintendent. On behalf of the school board administration, we would like to thank you for coming out tonight. We've got a full room here in person, so virtually I don't know how many people we have, but thank you for joining us tonight. I want to remind everyone that this meeting is a meeting of the school board for the purpose of conducting the school district's business, and it is not to be considered a publicly community meeting. Opportunities for participation will be permitted in accordance with policy B250. And I would also like to remind everyone that all of the board agenda and documents are posted 48 hours prior to our meetings. At this time, I'm going to turn over to Mrs. Susie Lips.
All right. I'd like to have all of the spell winners, their principals, and anyone who helped facilitate the spelling bees to come right up front and stand over here, please. Face the crowd. Thank you. I'd like to welcome Martinsville School's best spellers from all the elementary schools, Bell Intermediate Academy, and John R. Wooden Middle School. This past month, Martinsville Schools facilitated spelling competitions and selected winners. Those top students, their teachers, and parents were invited to be recognized this evening. Our district celebrates the students standing in front of you because of their success with spelling. However, More importantly, our school community knows that students who prioritize spelling as a skill and will grow into outstanding spellers. They'll also develop self-confidence, communication and public speaking skills, and the ability to thrive under pressure. Good spellers are known to be self-motivated and probably a little competitive. They usually have a coach and are committed to hard work. Human brains are not specifically designed to do spelling or reading like they are walking or speaking. These skills, spelling and reading, have to be learned. They are not built in. Spelling and reading can only be traced back as far as written language several thousand years ago. Spelling bee competitors are intellectually curious. Great spellers are often avid readers, and they commit a lot of words to memory. But they also study prefixes, suffixes, foreign languages, and definitions that will help them deduce how a word is spelled. Research shows that spelling is important for 3 reasons: communication, literacy, and employment. Students who are strong spellers go on to become good communicators with their families and with their jobs, because spelling is a critical component of communication. Also, spelling and reading skills are closely related and help develop overall literacy. Looking to the future, outstanding spelling ability has a direct impact on employment opportunities for these students that are standing in front of you. Congratulations. At this time, we are going to recognize each school's principal. Principal will come up to the microphone over at the podium and will announce the names of his or her spelling winner and runner-up. Mr. Bolin, our superintendent, and Mrs. Deckard, our school board president, will give special awards, a medal for each of the students. So at this time, Mrs. Jennifer Tier from Brooklyn, please come forward.
Our facilitator for our spelling bee was Miss Stribe, and she's unable to be here today. Our winner, who is here, is Bella Hodges. You want to step forward, Bella?
of our winners, runner-ups, principals, everyone involved. And at this time, I just want to ask the students, if you wouldn't mind, see that white board back there, that white area where there's a red M on it? We'd like for you to go back there because we're going to take your picture so we can have it for social media, newspaper, wherever we can put the picture of our winners. So if you wouldn't mind to go back to the back of the room and have a picture taken, we'd appreciate it. Thank you very much.
They're getting close to wrapping it up. As the students are leaving, I had informed a few of them that I was the reason they created the spell checker program. I would not have been in that picture. So congratulations to each of them.
Absolutely. Let's give them one more round of applause. That's a great accomplishment. I didn't have to even give them an exit, reason. They're leaving already, so.
They're smart.
They're smart.
Didn't have to give a signal.
Well, we have reached the portion of our agenda for public speaking. Courtney, did we have anyone sign up this evening? We did not. So we will move on to our consent agenda. The consent agenda consists of payroll claims, budgetary claims, personnel report, and then the vote, of course. So do we have any questions or comments from the board on the consent agenda? All right, then I would ask for a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll make the motion. We accept the consent agenda.
Do I have a second? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the consent agenda signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Mr. Bowling?
Okay, we do have a couple of overnight stays to approve for the board. One of them was our wrestling overnight stay that was for the semi-state. Obviously, that was already held last weekend, but I recommend that you approve their funds for that stay.
All right, do I have a motion to approve the wrestling overnight stay? All right, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the MHS wrestling overnight stay signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
The next one we have is a cyber user conference. That's going to be for Ms. Wells and Paget from Food Service. They are going to be going on April 25th and 26th to Houston, and no district funds will be expended for this trip. I recommend approval.
All right, I'd like to ask for a motion.
I move to approve the Cybersoft user conference.
I'll second it.
All right. All those in favor of approving the CyberSoft user conference signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Again, Martinsville Schools open enrollment for 23-24 school year began January 9th. Open enrollment is the time period that parents in our district, the community Martinsville, or from other districts can enroll their children in Martinsville schools for the next school year. Families can enroll by clicking on the enrollment icon on the district website. The MSD of Martinsville will continue to celebrate our student successes as part of our 2023 marketing campaign. Kindergarten kickoff was facilitated Thursday, February 8th at the new Martinsville High School Fieldhouse. We welcome all kindergarten students to enroll in one of the 7 Martinsville elementary schools. Textbook adoption is underway. Staff, parents, and the community are encouraged to be actively involved with textbook adoption process this year. The MSD of Martinsville is now requesting and reviewing materials for the upcoming science and health curriculum adoption and would like the stakeholder input. The district's Project Lead the Way modules fulfill many science standards, so the adopted curricular materials will provide a supplement to meet the remaining requirements for grades K through 12. Health adoption is for grades 7 through 12. Grades K through 6 will continue to use current subscriptions and materials. If parents or community members have curricular suggestions for the district, please submit them to me via email or stop by the office here. Parents and community members can review materials from publishers under consideration via the online access information that's provided here tonight and that comes through the email that we'll send out to you. All parents and community members are welcome to view materials at the central office during normal business hours beginning February or by appointment after business time. Our ultimate goal is to keep our school community secure and united on the best education for our youth and our future. You can find the textbook adoption timeline on the interactive panels and with the hard copy packets at the back of the room, because some of these can't read very well. If you want a hard copy, if you're interested in textbook adoption or any of the items I'm talking about, we do have a packet, a hard copy packet at the back of the room. NWEA is an assessment process that our students are involved here in Martinsville schools. And if you'll look at the panels, you can see that the blue column is the baseline. The scores that were considered baseline are from the 21-22 winter. And then our goal was to have percentage of growth and to be greater than 7 points, 7 points or greater. Our results from this winter are the yellow, and you can see that is growth. That's not achievement, it's growth. NWEA's average growth nationally pre-COVID was 5 to 7 points annually. Since then, the national growth average has been lowered. Martinsville set an aggressive goal to close the gaps that we have with some of our test scores. The district exceeded that goal at this time. Our reading base, as you can see what it was, and our goal was 50, and our actual score or growth was 56.83, an increase of observed growth of 7 or more points. Math, our base was 63%, our goal was 65, and in actuality, we scored 66.52, an increase of observed growth of 7 or more points. How did we accomplish that goal? We believe that our Well Wednesdays, our PLCs, our professional learning communities had a lot to do with that. It gives our Well Wednesdays gives our teachers time to all meet together in professional learning communities where they have time to listen to experts, specialists in our building and from other places, and to work together on the common goal of meeting the needs of the students and moving them forward. We analyze data and share strategies. Our staff collaborates in professional learning communities to analyze data and improve instructional strategies and classroom practices. All of the educational teams that attend the students as a whole, so they learn from each other and are more effective for all students rather than just the students in their own classrooms. We remediate and enrich our weekly professional learning communities, allow staff to quickly identify and respond to students' needs with the appropriate support instead of waiting to remediate at a later time. And also, key to the process is our vertical alignment. Vertical alignment means across grade levels. Our vertical alignment meetings have been held throughout this year to identify and correct gaps. Well Wednesdays, professional development that we have observed and participated in and been active this year are all listed on the panel now. NIET, teacher mentorship, district initiative, stakeholder meetings, TBRI, tech programs, and CIESC, our membership there. Attendance here in the district, I'm proud to report that Martinsville Schools attendance rates are still very high this year with a district average of 93.08%. Our good attendance is a sign of upstanding personal habits from our students, such as effort, organization, diligence, and responsibility. Attending school every day reinforces a sense of belonging, and most importantly, good attendance at school is the #1 factor in a student's success at school and throughout his or her future. Attendance is one of those stats it's not subjective. It's a statistic. It's a piece of data. So when a student is at school and we have a percentage rate of 93.08, we're just checking the seats at the classroom. Important dates in social media. In the spirit of good communication and transparency, the district communication team is using several ways to reach out to our school community. We use Artie stories that are delivered every other week on Wednesday. Artie stories will come to you via email. Classroom recap is a video, and that's been coming out about once a month. Events recap they come every Monday to students and to families, and it's a video, a clip. The superintendent's vlog, the last superintendent's vlog was for staff in particular. Superintendent Bolin is using the vlog opportunity to speak to staff informally and to speak to the school community. Weekly Scoop comes out on Sunday night, just as an overview of the events coming forward in the future, and also to provide links of previous announcements that you might want to keep in reserve. We use social media on a regular basis, and our website is being rehauled this year, and we're going to make some changes with the website, not on each individual page, but the whole district as a whole. Upcoming events for your calendars to please mark the date. We have 8th grade orientation and the Martinsville High School Curriculum and Programming Showcase on February 22nd. SAT testing for 11th grade and PSAT testing for 9th grade, if they so chose, is March 2nd. Brooklyn and Green Township parent 4th grader night at Bell Intermediate Academy is May 9th. Paragon and Poston Road parent and 4th grader night at Bell Intermediate Academy is May 9th. Centerton and South parent and 4th grader night at Bell Intermediate is May 15th. Smith parent and 4th grader night at Bell is May 15th. And there are specific times allotted to those sessions that we'll be getting out to each of the parent groups independently. Martinsville High School Senior Scholarship Award Program is May 21st, and our graduation for this year, the culmination of our school year, is May 26th. We have one student shout out that I'd like to mention tonight, and that is a 4-year swimmer, senior swimmer Molly Stout, made it to the state meet, qualified for the state, placed 20th in outstanding fashion in the 100 breaststroke. Such a competitor, such a good story. I'd like to congratulate her and her teammates on their careers. Shout out to Martinsville High School Director Brian Samarza and the Martinsville High School Artesian Theater and Drama Club for their performance preparation of the Addams Family, which is this weekend. And thank you to the Martinsville Classroom Teachers Association for serving as a district resource and donating funding to Martinsville schools. The Teachers Association has donated to backpacks for underprivileged, homecoming events, machining curriculum, district social services, post-prom, athletics, week of code, and in the future are planning to donate this year still to fine arts, music, robotics, the state chess tournament, and for the elementary schools test preparation. Thank you to the Teacher Association and all that are involved with that. We appreciate your valuable partnership. Thank you for everyone attending this evening.
I'm going to cover old business here. We mentioned the last meeting that we would have a segment of old business for the board to be able to follow up on anything that might have happened in the last meeting. In the last meeting, we did tell you that the board was going to be doing building tours of all 10 of our school facilities. And last night was our last one. It was 3 different nights of 3 hours each. And I want to personally thank the board for taking that on, because it was an important challenge, an important task. And I look forward to working with them as we chart the course for the next 20, 30, 40, and even 50 years. So I appreciate the time you put in it. We'd also like to publicly thank Mr. Ratz from DLZ. He was in each of those meetings. Mr. Stout was a big help, and Mrs. Lips was a big help. And Transportation Department for having a bus driver for our athletic competition buses, the small ones, to take us around to each of the facilities. We really appreciated their assistance on that. It got us from point A to B safely, quickly, and we were able to talk in between as a result of that. So we're very grateful for that. Now we're moving on to action items, if that's okay with you. First action item is the copier agreement with RICO. RICO is the current supplier, and if you talk to the frontline people, they're excited that they don't have to learn new platforms, and they have been very successful with us in the first contract that we just had with them. So I recommend approval.
All right, I'd like to have a motion to approve the copier agreement.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the copier agreement signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Next action item is approval to utilize IS Corp, which is for our Skyward platform, to be in the cloud. So they'll be clearing up our server space. We'll save approximately 60% of our server space just by doing this. And it will be more secure data for us. So I recommend approval to utilize IS Corp.
I make a motion to approve IS Corp.
Okay. Do I have a second? All right. All those in favor of approving the IS Corp contract signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Next action item, I'm really excited to put this one before the board. The board's challenge last year into this year was to improve student safety and safety protocols in our district, throughout the district. And we are partnering with Raptor Integrated School Safety Platform and 4 different modules that they will help us with. I want to thank publicly here Mr. Chambers, our safety director, for leading the charge and doing the investigation and coming up with something that will check more boxes for us as a district moving forward. But we are going to make a big step forward with this. So I recommend approval of Raptor, but I would go ahead and get that round of applause for Mr. Chambers and a thank you. I know he's back there somewhere. Thank you for that. So I do recommend approval of the Raptor Integrated School Safety Software Package.
All right, do I have a motion to approve the Raptor system? All right, all those in favor of approving Raptor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I did forget to mention the safety committee that we had that was led by Mrs. Lips. They were involved with Mr. Chambers as well. It's hard for me not to call him Officer Chambers. I've done that for 24 years or whatever. But I want to thank the board for that as well. So thank you. Okay, the next one is the approval of safe visitor modules, which will be utilized in the 23-24 school year. It is integrated with Skyward, so we'll get immediate absence attendance information. We will not have to have our secretaries or frontline people input that. It will be synchronized with the platform. So recommend approval of safe visitor to be utilized starting next school year.
All right, do I have a motion to approve Safe Visitor?
I'll make a motion to approve safe visitor modules.
Have a second?
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor of approving Safe Visitor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
As a taxing entity, we are required to appoint a representative to the Board of Trustees of the Morgan County Public Library. We've had a gentleman serving for us the last term. That's Thierry LeBerge. I would recommend that we continue and reappoint Mr. LeBerge for this next term.
Do I have a motion to reappoint Mr. LeBerge?
I'll make the motion to reappoint.
Okay, and a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor of appointing Mr. LeBerge to the Board of Trustees of the Morgan County Public Library signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Okay, now we're going to talk about a few grants. I want to mention them individually. The Society of Indiana Pioneers, fourth grade field trip. That is for Paragon Elementary in the amount of $500. Recommend approval.
Do I have a motion to approve the fourth grade field trip at Paragon?
I'll make a motion to approve the fourth grade field trip grant for Paragon Elementary.
And a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor of approving the Indiana Pioneers fourth grade field trip signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Another grant for Paragon Elementary, United Way of Central Indiana Literacy Matter Grant in the amount of $1,500. Recommend approval.
I move to approve the United Way grant for Paragon Elementary.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor of approving the United Way of Central Indiana Literacy Matter Grant signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
The next grant is United Way Literacy Matters for Poston Road Elementary in the amount of $3,000. Recommend approval.
Right, and I will apologize because I get on a roll and I forget to ask if you have questions or comments, but I assume if you do, you'll stop me. So do I have a, there is a swim in IU. But it doesn't start till 8:30.
Keep rolling.
Do I have a motion to approve the United Way Literacy Matters Grant for Poston Road?
I'll make a motion to approve the United Way Literacy Grant for Poston Road.
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor of approving the United Way Grant for Poston Road signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
The last grant that we'll be covering is the 2020 or 2022-23 Digital Learning Parent and Family Support Grant from the IDOE. This is in the amount of $15,000, And there were 23 recipients in the state of Indiana that received this, and we're one of those 23, so we're very excited about that. Recommend approval of this grant.
Do I have a motion?
I move to approve the digital learning parent and family support grant.
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor of approving the 2022-23 Digital Learning Parent and Family Support Grant signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Okay, the next round, we'll go ahead and I'll mention each of the donations for extracurricular activities. But I want to mention them, but we'll vote on them as one block, if that's still okay with the board. Donation from an anonymous donor to Brooklyn STEM Academy for $500. Another donation from an anonymous donor to the MHS Dance Marathon in the amount of $500. Donation from Home Bank to South Elementary School in the amount of $10,000. Donation from Macandesi Dunn to the MHS Swim and Dive Team for $500. Donation from Martinsville Classroom Teachers Association to Martinsville High School Athletics in the amount of $500. The donation from Martinsville Little Arties to MHS Athletics in the amount of $960. And the donation from MJ Schutz Insurance Services to the Martinsville Swim and Dive Team in the amount of $1,000. We have a lot of generous donators and supporters in our community. We thank them immensely for their continued support. I recommend approval of these donations.
Do I have a motion to approve these donations that have been put before you?
I move to approve the donations.
In a second?
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor of approving the donations that's been presented signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
That concludes the action items. It's back to you.
All right, at this time, we have reached the portion of our agenda for public participation. At the completion of all of our school board regular business, a visitor who wishes to speak may do so at the discretion of the president. The visitor will be required to state his or her full name and will be given the opportunity to speak using the same guidelines that is used for agenda items, not to exceed 2 minutes for each person. In an effort to fairly adhere to the 2-minute guidelines for all speakers, we will present the 2-minute time on the interactive panels around the room. Board members will listen to the speakers but will not engage in back and forth conversations. At the conclusion of the 2 minutes, speakers will be asked to return to their seats. It shall not be permissible to orally present or discuss complaints against individual employees of the Metropolitan School District of Martinsville at any Board of School Trustee meeting. Such charges or complaints shall be presented to the Board of School Trustees in writing and shall be signed by the person making the charge or complaint. Boisterous conduct shall not be permitted at any meeting of the Board of School Trustees, nor will any defamatory or abusive remarks be tolerated. We do appreciate everyone's civility in maintaining a business order. We do respect all your views. Courtney, do we have anyone to sign up? We don't have anyone to sign up. All right, Mr. Billings, back to you.
Okay, a few comments here before we finish tonight. Reminder, Monday, February 20th is President's Day, no school for the MSD of Martinsville. We also, I want to touch upon what Mrs. Lips said about the Addams Family. You can go online. I'm looking forward. I haven't seen this musical yet, so I'm really looking forward to it. And that's going to be Friday night, the 17th. So it's Friday, Saturday, and Monday at 7 p.m. Sunday's a matinee at 3. Okay, once again, Friday and Saturday and Monday at 7. And Sunday is a 3 p.m. Matinee. You can get online, you can get tickets at MHS AUD, standing for auditorium. So it's MHSAUD.booktix.com. And you can order tickets online and go and support the kids. They always do an unbelievable job. And I'm really looking forward to seeing this, and it might be, see if it gets in the top 10 for me again. So want to say that. Chess tournament is coming up. They are looking for people to help. That's going to be on March 18th. We're hosting the state chess championships. It's a great thing we have. We'll have approximately 600 competitors, and this is going to be a big event. If you can help out in any way, shape, or form, go ahead and contact the office, contact the high school, and I'm trying to remember the first contact. Well, he had somebody else that was going to take it, but I think it was Krista. I think that poor lady is doing everything. Am I right? It's Krista. Surprise, surprise. Contact Krista. She's not got anything to do, and let her know that you might be able to help. Just unbelievable support we get. I would like to get a couple of follow-up on a shout-out for Molly Stout, but also we have a shout-out to the 4 wrestlers that competed in the semi-state. To make it that far is an unbelievable accomplishment. We had Noah, Brennan, Trevor, and Stevie, who did a great job all year, and we thank them for their efforts in representing the MSD and Martinsville High School. Also, this Saturday, we have the Dance and Solo Ensemble Championships. That's going to be at McCutcheon High School. And we have 2 of our duet groups. That's going to be Haley and Ayla and Elise and Cadence. Our dance team, if you've never watched our dance team, you need to watch it. They perform often at the halftime at the basketball games, but they have their own showcase at the end of the year. And I'm telling you, I went to it last year, and I was absolutely blown away with their skills and their talents. Unbelievable. And I want to give them a public shout out from my great niece, who competes at Bloomington South with their dance team. And she said to me, I quote, "Martinsville's dance team is our favorite because they are awesome. They are so good." But she said, and they are so nice. They always leave us notes on our whiteboards at the competitions, wishing us luck and wishing us well. She said other people, they don't do that. Martinsville does. So I wanted to publicly tell them, great job representing the MSD of Martinsville and Martinsville High School in a fashion that we could all be proud of. So let's give them a round of applause and good luck on Saturday. So if you get a chance to watch them, you need to watch them because they are unbelievable. I think that is all of them that I got. I took my superintendent moment, trying to end it quick. At that ball game for you go to.
I think we're going to have to create a policy to have a time limit on the superintendent.
You're going to put the little screen up there for me. and
Your
it's gonna
time is
turn
up.
red.
Great job, Eric. And I also want to add to that, tomorrow night is February 17th, Friday night, senior night for the boys basketball, for cheer, for dance, for gymnastics. Come out and support these guys and these gals because they've worked hard for this. And I know sometimes they feel like it's not going to be emotional. That it's okay. It's just my last game or my last home game. It's always emotional, and it's just so great to see all the accomplishments that all these students have accomplished. But come out and support them if you can. Mrs. Lips, I know you mentioned it on the events already, but I do want to mention because it's coming up quickly. March 7th, the robotics showcase is at the Martinsville Fieldhouse from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Again, come out and support these students. They love it. They get into it. They get really involved, and it's just a great thing. I love to watch them, and we try to go every year, so this year won't be an exception. I will be there, so I hope you guys will be there as well. Do I have any other comments from any other board members? Anything you guys like to say?
I brought a whole book, if that's okay, Jackie.
Oh, your time's up, Luke.
All right.
I'm so sorry.
Just a few things. I did want to, again, thank the administration, everybody involved with the kindergarten kickoff. I heard a lot of great things about it from parents, so that's exciting. And also, I wanted to, again, thank Mr. Boland, thank Mr. Chambers with all the work they've done in moving the safety of our schools forward. So that's definitely something all of us were on board with. Appreciate you guys taking that and running with it. And also, last thing, I did want to also mention that coming up, I believe May 22nd, there is an FFA breakfast at the high school, if anybody's interested in that. So.
That's awesome. Right, doing that again? Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Anyone else? Well, I do want to thank you all for coming out tonight, whether you're here, whether you're joining us virtually. Glad to have you involved. It's always great to have an audience out here, and so glad to have our spellers here this evening and recognize them. So we want to thank them as well. So unless you have something else,
I do not.
I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
In a second.
I'll second.
All those in favor of adjournment signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Have a good evening.